GKFX Prime presents the Market Analysis Webinar.
Hello traders, good week to you. My name is Dima. This is this week's weekly analysis webinar. We're going to take a look at the charts as usual. Hope you had a good trading week last week. Let's see what we've got for this week. A few bits of news on the economic calendar, and we're going to see a few interesting setups for the week. Let's see what we've got. I'll show you what I've picked for this week and you can follow along. And remember that you can also place a comment below and share your charts as well. Okay, without further ado, let me go over the calendar for the week as usual before jumping on the charts. So on Monday, this manufacturing index on USD. Let's a bit of news. We've got a speech from the euro, which we could move at the market. And then Tuesday, we've got monetary policy meeting minutes from Australia, claiming count change on the pound, and then a possibly more significant bit of news from Canada, CPI numbers, and then the central bank speech there on the same day. Then in the middle of the week, Wednesday, we've got the inflation rate on the pound. That could be a significant one. So I've starred that one, highlighted it. And then CPI numbers on New Zealand and Euro as well on the same day. So let's watch out for that. Into Thursday, the balance of trade announcement from Japan, unemployment claims on dollar. Of lesser news is Fed manufacturing index and speech from one of the FOMC members on the dollar. And we've got another CAD speech there. And then on Friday, we've got an inflation rate on the yen, so that could be an important one. Retail sales on pound, retail sales on CAD, PMI numbers on euro, pound, and dollar. These are typically less importance news, but still going to watch out for them in case we get surprises come the end of the week, which could happen if there's no action or nothing significant before that. Sometimes the market can range and wait for a bigger move on Friday. It does happen, but a rare occasion. Okay, let's begin with the charts as always. Okay, let's look at the majors to start with. Miners, we got an index and one crypto. Okay, let's begin with euro dollar. And we've got, as expected, the last few weeks bullish price action. We've hit this first target high, and now we've got the second one up here on this swing high. Looking on the lower time frame, obvious bullish idea here. Last week looked at this zone, which we indeed move away from. The next one to look at is the obvious one down here. So this next one I'm personally interested in terms of a higher probability idea, and then a move away from there, and the next reference point would be that high. So within this area, I'll be looking for, if you want to extend it to left, I'll be looking for a possible reaction. Now, if we have this as being the low and we go higher and we create another swing, that could be another possible entry idea. Obviously not the best price, but if that's what the market gives, then that's what the market gives. I like this area down here for a nice, better price. Let's see if the news fits in with this idea once we get to this zone. So that's the euro. Okay, next one, I'll look at the dollar CAD. So we've got weak dollar, and combining that towards the dollar CAD, we can see that we have had several bearish weeks, and these were just minor pullbacks, and the market has slammed price down. So the next obvious target would be down here at the next swing. Big bearish candle last week. So looking at the continuation of that, and where would it look to continue? Well, if you want to draw a fib from the last obvious swings, then the reference point would be here. As you can see, here's the 61.8, here's the 78. So then I'll remove that fib. And again, I would prefer a better price in terms of probabilities, better risk to reward, and looking to trade down into the next level that I've got marked out. Let me just place a marker there. So here it is, 1.34, 1.342, and obviously you want to see some reversal price action in the candles and for the market to show its hand. There's also a sort of trend line if you're into that kind of stuff down here. So let's see whether we get a reaction off here. You can just also extend this to the left a bit, and that looks like a sort of support resistance, so to speak, zone. And yeah, we've got the swing reference here, here, and then ultimately to the left down here to come down to fill this gap in the market price. So that's the outlook on dollar CAD. It's a sell. Next, let's look at euro yen. Euro yen last week, clearly bullish. We were looking at more bullishness in some bearishness in the yen and more bullishness in the cross pairs with the yen. And we've got confirmed bullishness here, looking towards the next high point, which would be the next obvious level. So here you go on the monthly chart. We can see this swing and see very clearly bullish days, brief pullback, bearish, getting a low price. Once again, bullishness resuming, and then higher low, higher high, and we're continuing to the upside. So with this week, I'll be looking for something similar to reach towards this level. So where can we get that? Well, we've already got a brief push up in the market on the beginning of the week. Let me look at the lower time frame. Here we've got a level. So let's see whether we get a reaction of this level once again to go higher. Obviously that would be the preferred better price. Whether that happens or not, we'll have to see in line with the news. The other thing that could happen is, other possibility, we could break the high, and then I'll be looking for, if that's the case, then looking at a better price, pulling back, and then continuing to the upside. Just place a marker here, and then a marker over here for this area. And these are the reference points. So I wouldn't look at the market to breach this. That will be invalidated because that will be a significant structure to the downside. Broken there. So obviously that would mean that we no longer have this as a valid idea, because then we're breaking down a lower, weaker. So here it is. Just to make it clearer, here's that point to the left. We've got lots of swings here, and then looking to reach that high. Clear bullishness, nothing to say that we are turning around just yet in euro yen. Okay, that's that. Let me move on to pound New Zealand. And again, let's have a look on the weekly. So we've got the big bullish candle here, retracement, swing, and now continued higher. We can see months of very bullish price action. Next reference point would be this high. Come down to the weekly, you can see that we're now pushing higher constantly. And I'm gonna look to continue on that idea. So here I'll be taking this low as a swing. You can see this whole area as a possible place to enter. So a move into a better price. First reference point would be up here, obviously, and then the next one would be the higher time frame level up here. So that level is about 2.03, and then we've got a level down here about between 1.995 or so. So obviously, once again, I want to see a reaction, and the price action will tell the story. And then the breaking point would be here to invalidate that idea. Okay, so that's the pound New Zealand. Then got another New Zealand pair. So in this case, New Zealand CAD. So if you pay attention here, we've got pound New Zealand is strong pound, buying idea, strong pound, weak New Zealand. We've got dollar CAD. The idea is weak dollar and stronger CAD. And in this case, New Zealand fits in with that because we've got weak New Zealand and strong CAD as the bias on New Zealand CAD in this day, this week, I should say, is to the downside. So we can see we've got on the chart, just have a quick look on the monthly, we had this impulsive move higher, and now we're slowly coming down in this retracement phase. Looking on the weekly, you can see we've broken the clear swing. Last week was very obviously bearish, very heavy candle, and now I'm looking to continue to the downside. Now, where would I continue to? Well, the next obvious swing is down here, and then possibly a bit further down. So with that in mind, let's have a look. Here you can see the bigger picture, very clear bearishness, and here we've got a interesting level. And if I draw the fib from the last high to the current low, then we can see that if we don't have reaction of this level, then the next one will be up here. Here's the 61.8, 78. And these are the two reference points for me now. So again, better price, and we may get a reaction of here, or perhaps it will go higher. I don't know. So the first idea is up here. Second idea is to the higher side, which is obviously preferable because it'll be a better price, better risk to reward as usual. And yeah, we're looking to see where the market wants to play off from once it reaches there, if it reaches there, because it goes always just collapse down even further. And I don't want to be chasing price if we get a lower price, because, well, it's just not a good price. Want to let the market come to you, essentially. Yeah, very clear bearishness, weakness, and let's see if we get a good price to enter on and capitalize on that. That's what I see as the higher probability idea on New Zealand CAD. Okay. Now let's go to the NAS100 on NASDAQ. We have been looking at the indices for a few weeks, and the reason is because we have bullishness. So bullishness idea on the NAS100 for this week would be this high. I'm not sure how high we're going to go. We're in a deep retracement, but for now, the reference point is this high up here. If we break that, last week we had a pin bar bullish candle with that wick to the downside. So looking to continue on that same premise. So here we are. I had this level, and now we've got bullish days. Last what was it, last week on Friday, on Thursday, and this is a possible swing. So let's see if we reach to the top. There's not that much in it, to be honest. We have come down into this zone here, reacted off it. So now I'll be looking for another, the same thing, to fill into this possible gap down here. If I just go to the 1 hour, maybe you'll see it a bit better. Would really like a better price if it comes down here, and then look to push to the upside. So again, want to see a clear bullish price action, and go back to the 4 hour bullish price action, just like you see here, and then moving to the high side to clear this high, and then we will see what happens beyond that. So this is the 13,250 level, something like that. Yep. And then we've got down here, this is around the 1306, 13,060 level. Yeah, so this is the NASDAQ NAS100 idea, and we can see that the issue here, why it's a little bit lower probability than usual, or I would say a bit more risky, is because we are in this kind of largish range for the last 2 weeks. So want to be aware of that, because it's in a range. Technically, don't really want to be trading a range. However, because the overall bias, a high time frame, is to the upside, that would be my idea here. I don't want to be trading sell in this scenario. Okay, finally I'm going to look at Ethereum. Let's have a look on the weekly. So we did look at this some time back, looked at these areas. We did hit this area and then bounced away. So now let me clear this chart. Let's just have a cleaner look at what we've got on Ethereum for this week. And if we can capitalize on this bullish, very obvious bullish price action. So here was that wedge type of squeeze. We're clearly going bullish. Here's the next level of reference for me, and we have this gap in the market right here that you can see. So with this bullishness and clearly last week bullish, gonna look to continue on that price behavior. Now the question is where? Well, here we've got that swing. I'll take the last obvious low to the high, and then I can see that here's the 50 level, here's the 61.8, here's the 78. So let's see where we get, if we get that price action down here to get a better price. And the level of invalidation I'll be looking at is this level here that I'm not wanting the market to breach. If the market does breach it, then the next scenario would be looking to reassess and possibly more downside. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so the price action off this level, and then there's a fairly decent risk to reward on the way up. And let me just place marker here. It's about around about the 2000 level. This is the it's about the 1900 level. And then the next point would be up here. So that is around about 2500 or so. So crypto moves quickly. So we'll see whether the volatility comes in the market this week. Yeah, so this is that idea. Let me just even it out. So I pull back to get a better price, and continuing on the buy side is very clearly bullish. And we've had this big spike that we have now cleared, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, and this was the area where we expected to move away from. We did, so gonna see if we can jump on that train. Okay, so these are the charts for this week. Remember all the news items and manage your risk. As always, we've got some nice cleaner looking charts overall in the markets as it's taken its set for the second quarter. And yeah, let's see where we play out this week and whether the opportunities are favorable. Remember not to try to trade everything. Pick a few that are the best. These are just ideas, trading ideas to give you in terms of higher probability. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next week with next week's analysis video. All right, bye for now, and have a good trading week, guys.